Hey NFI, happy Tuesday. It is the 9th of June 2020, and this week we are apparently talking about the one thing we haven't really mentioned on this channel all that much during its resurgence. However, we need to address it at some point, so let's do that. Now, I'm sure you're sick of hearing about it. I mean, we're living it. There's no getting away from it. This is the new normal. But I suppose there's different ways in which you can look at the whole COVID-19 situation, because it's bad. A lot of people have died, and it doesn't appear to be getting that much better because countries are saying they're getting over the peak, but there are still a lot of deaths. My country is just easing lockdown now, and a lot of the shops are opening. In fact, McDonald's and Burger King have both just reopened some of their stores in the last week, and there were queues 60 cars long creating tailbacks. Frankly, it was just crazy. I read a story about this young couple who drove from my hometown 7 hours to go buy a McDonald's. I mean, the upside is I had 10 minutes on a beach and then ate at McDonald's and then drove back. So I used a phrase earlier, the new normal. Well, basically, this is the new normal, but people's lives have been turned upside down by this. And I don't just mean people directly affected by COVID-19. I'm talking about the people who have lost their jobs, who have been stuck at home, who've been quarantined, haven't seen friends, family and loved ones. But for me, life hasn't been that much different. Because I work in the service sector, I have been considered a key worker ever since this thing started, so I was allowed to go to work 5 days a week and still do what I normally do. And granted, things have been different at work, obviously social distancing measures and enhanced cleaning procedures, that kind of thing. But despite these, I'm still going to work and doing the same job on the same days, the same shifts. Yeah, okay, I know for the theme description over on nficollab.com, it says about tell us something good in your area or something's happened to you or you've experienced or seen. But to me, everything just seems normal. I mean, it's not normal to queue for 35 minutes to get into a shop to buy a loaf of bread, obviously. And both myself and my brother work in a supermarket. I work in a petrol station attached to a supermarket, but I'm still in that supermarket 5 days a week, so I can pick up my essentials after work when I'm already in the building. Unlike a lot of families and a lot of people struggling to buy the basic groceries, I've had flour, I've had toilet roll, I've never struggled to find bread or milk. I've been doing the grocery shopping for the family as opposed to just my own, which is what I tend to do. So it's costing me more money than what it used to, but apart from that, that is the only thing I've really had to complain about. So I think I've done rather well considering. The other thing is I've seen plenty of negative things as a result of this whole COVID-19 thing, because I've seen the way people have been acting. People who should have been sheltering and staying indoors, 90-year-old people coming into our shop 6 o'clock in the morning to buy a newspaper when they should be quarantining at home because they're the most vulnerable and also possibly one of the most likely people to spread the virus. This applies to a very small section of that age group, obviously, but I've heard the conversation and the justification for them coming out despite lockdown is that, well, the war didn't kill me, so this won't, I will be just fine. Seriously, that is a mindset that I've heard of far too much. There are plenty of positives to come out of the pandemic, I guess, if you look hard enough, such as the increased cleaning procedures. People are now much more aware about hygiene, about keeping distance from people, being respectful, being nice, being understanding when things get tough. There are so many stories about people helping their fellow man who live down the street, the next street, they don't even know them, going onto Facebook groups and offering food and delivery services and all this kind of stuff just to help people who are housebound, trapped, or social distancing or isolated. But then I'm reminded about a young couple who drove 7 hours to go to McDonald's. So all that remains to be said is, how have you been coping during the COVID pandemic? How have the people around you been coping? Have you had it? Has someone you know had it? Hopefully, fingers crossed, they've recovered from it just fine. How has it affected you, your job, your livelihood, your mental health? It's been a pleasure to speak to you as always. Brendan will see you on Friday. Have a great day, and I will see you around next time.